Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend today. And today we are excited to present this workshop on building generative AI apps with Microsoft Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio is a fantastic low-code platform that allows anyone, regardless of coding experience, to create these powerful applications. In this workshop, we will take you on step-by-step journey, starting with the fundamentals of generative AI and progressing to building real-world use cases with Copilot Studio. Uh, Before we start, we will introduce ourselves. I'm Alfred Kalingasan, and with me is Mac Linriel. Both of us have years of extensive experience in Power Platform solutions development. Unfortunately, our organizers, Ridge One and Sacha, won't be able to attend for today's session. All right, let's now dive into the agenda for today's workshop. We would like to apologize as the agenda for today's session is different from the agenda on the events page. So as you can see, we have different, aside from introduction, we have a different agenda for the demo. So for the first part, we will doing the introduction to generative AI and Copilot Studio. We'll kick things off by exploring the fundamentals of generative AI. This will give you a solid understanding of the core concepts behind these intelligent applications. Next, we will provide a comprehensive overview of Copilot Studio's capabilities. You will learn what the Power Platform can do and how it can empower you to build generative AIs. In our demo, in the second phase, we will be doing demo, which is building Copilot with Copilot Studio. We will guide you through the process of building a Copilot using Copilot Studio. We will start by setting up your Copilot Studio environment or the solution, ensuring you have everything you need to start creating. Then we will walk you through creating a Copilot with basic generative AI functionalities. It will solidify your understanding of the platform's core functionalities. We will also explain the actions, limitation, and the data source that can be used for generative AI. So yeah, so this is the conversational orchestration. We will discuss topics, conversational plugins, plugin actions, and AI plugins. In the third part of the demo, we will also explore the different features inside the Copilot Studio, which is entities, channels, security, and languages. Now we will start with understanding the fundamentals of generative AI. Before I start, if you have Q&A is open and you can use it if you have any questions. We will gladly answer your questions. So, what is generative AI? Imagine a creative AI assistant. So, generative AI works like superpowered student, constantly learning from massive amounts of data. This data could be anything from text and images to music and code. By analyzing these examples, the AI assistants identify patterns and relationships. It uses this knowledge to create entirely new and original things, but with a familiar style based on what it learned. Think of it like this. If you show a talented artist a collection of paintings, they might be inspired to create their own unique masterpiece that reflects the styles and techniques that they observe. Generative AI works in a similar way, but on a much larger scales and various types of data. The key ingredients for generative AI success is called training data. Just like our artists needs those paintings for inspirations, the AI needs this data to learn effectively. The more relevant and high quality this data is, the better the AI will be at generating creative, accurate outputs. So for capabilities and applications of generative AIs, it can be used in text generation. For text generation, imagine AI-powered chatbots that can hold engaging conversations or marketing tools that craft personalized content. Generative AI can create realistic and creative text formats from poems to scripts. So it's uh, for the example, we can use the Gemini AI, ChatGPT, and Copilot. And next is the image creation. For image creation, need a new product design or unique illustrations. Generative AI can create high quality images based on your descriptions or existing styles. Another capabilities and application is for music composition. It unleashes the inner musician, your inner musician. Generative AI can compose original music pieces in various styles, inspiring new artists avenues. And another one is the code generation. Uh, Generative AI can assist by suggesting relevant code snippets or even generating entire functions based on your requirements. These are just a few examples. We can use GitHub Copilot. We can also use ChatGPT, Gemini AI, or Copilot for asking some asking to have to create a code for example, a basic landing page of your website, etc. So these are the just a few examples, and the potential application of new generative AI are constantly expanding. And benefits. The potential benefits of generative AI are vast. It can be boost efficiency, enhance creativity, or personalized experiences. For boost efficiency, automate repetitive tasks and accelerate creative process, freeing up a human time and resources. While enhance creativity, it can spark new ideas and inspire innovative solutions in various fields. While and also a personalized experience, it can tailor experiences to individual needs and preferences, leading it to higher user satisfaction. However, it's important to acknowledge the limitation of generative AI. This model can inherit biases and lack of explainability. So yeah. So if the training data is biased, then the generative outputs might reflect those biases. So we have to carefully select for the data selection and model evaluation for they are crucial. And for lack of explainability, understanding how a generative AI model arrives at its output can be challenging. This necessitates human oversights and control. Now we will be exploring Copilot Studio. Copilot Studio is a low-code platform specifically designed to empower users to create intelligent application powered by generative AI models. For Copilot Studio, before it was it's part of Power Platform service. Before it's named as Power Virtual Agents. If there are any of our attendees know the Power Platform, so there are a lot. There are different services like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI was part, and also another part is Power Virtual Agent. But uh, Microsoft inherit the Copilot. That's why they renamed the Power Virtual Agent into Copilot Studio. So what is Copilot Studio? So Copilot Studio is a graphical low-code tool designed for creating and maintaining copilots. A copilot is an AI-powered conversational interface based on large language models or LLMS and additional sources of knowledge. Copilots can handle a wide range of requests, from providing simple responses to common questions to resolving complex conversations. It can also engage with customers and employees in multiple languages across various channels, including your websites or your custom websites, mobile apps, Facebook, Messenger as a page chatbot support, and also it can be integrated with Microsoft Teams. So we'll now dive in Copilot technical overview, Copilot Studio for technical overview of Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is a low-code platform designed to democratic generative AI development. It empowers users, regardless of their coding experience, to build intelligent applications powered by generative AI models. So for technical overview, we have conversational AI framework, and a low-code development. For conversational framework, at its core, Copilot Studio functions as a graphical user interface for building conversational AI agents or chatbots. These agents leverage large language models or LLMs, powerful AI models trained or on massive amounts of data to understand and respond to user queries in an intelligent way. Another overview is it is a low-code development. The platform provides a drag-and-drop interface and pre-built components, simplifying the development process for users with minimal coding experience. This allows to focus on the creative aspects of building your applications, like designing conversational flows, integrating generative text formatting functionalities, and customizing the user experience. So Copilot Studio is a local development. So it's part of Power Platform, and Microsoft uh, empowers the users to use Power Platform such as Power Apps, Power Automate, and especially the Copilots. Those they are low code platforms. They are part of the low code platform. So it it's mostly a GUI with drag and drop features and minimal of coding, or most likely they're using Power Platform functions. However, it's a different topic, so we will discuss on Copilot as focus on Copilot Studio. So for core functionalities, Copilot Studio offers a robust set of features to streamline your generative AI development journey. Here are some quick functionalities: Copilot's creation, conversational orchestration, and generative text format creation. Copilot creation, this is where the heart of your generative AI application lies. Copilot Studio guides you through the process of building your Copilot, which essentially defines the functionalities and capabilities of your AI assistant. While conversational orchestrations, Copilot Studio allows you to design conversational flows within your Copilot. This lets you define how your Copilot will interact with users and respond to their prompts or questions. Another one is generative text format creation. The power of generative AI lies in its ability to create new and original content. Copilot empowers you to leverage this potential by enabling your Copilot to generate different creative text formats. This could be anything from poems and scripts to marketing copy or personalized messages. Key features for building generative AI apps. Copilot Studio goes beyond the basics and provides a rich set of features to enhance your generative AI development experience. It's a pre-built. There are pre-built templates and plugins, integration with external AI models as well. So for pre-built templates and plugins, Copilot Studio comes with a library of pre-built templates and plugins that you can leverage as building blocks for your application. This allows you to jumpstart your development process and focus on your unique functionalities. I can provide an example. There are already topics or prompts that you can use already. So for the necessities, topics or prompts, Copilot Studio have those already. So it's like a welcome messages. If the Copilot cannot understand what the user understand, there is also already a topic for those. And yeah, and if you want to start over, there are also conversational. If you want to start over, it will ask you what if you really want to start over the chat with the Copilot. And also, it can also integrate with external AI models. So Copilot Studio allows you to integrate external AI models into your applications. This broadens your functionalities and lets you tap into the expertise of various AI models. So yeah, we can integrate like Azure OpenAI, Azure AI, AI models. We can integrate with Copilot, and also we can also integrate another Copilot to your Copilot, something like that. Now let's go to the deployment and management. So for deployment and management, Copilot Studio offers deployment channels such as web, custom web, mobile apps, or on your Microsoft Teams, or also the Messenger, just like a chatbot for Facebook page. And to us, Microsoft Copilot in your tenant as well. This ensures maximum accessibility and user conveniences. While for monitoring and analytics, Copilot Studio provides tools to monitor your Copilot's performance and gather user analytics. This valuable data allows you to identify areas for improvement and ensure your Copilot is meeting user needs effectively. Then, yeah, what are the benefits of using Copilot? So the benefits are accessibility, rapid development, and scalability. For accessibility, Copilot Studio's low-code approach make it easy to use even for those without extensive coding experience. So that's accessibility because that's why because it's low-code development, low-code platform. So even the citizen developer can create their own Copilot as long as they have knowledge with how AI works or how generative AI works. And also, since it's a low-code development, it also benefits in the rapid development. So pre-built components and features within Copilot Studio allow for the rapid development as well, saving you valuable time and resources. And the last thing is scalability. Copilot Studio is designed to be scalable, so you can easily accommodate your application's growth as your needs evolve. So by leveraging the power of Copilot Studio, you can unlock the potential of generative AI and build innovative applications that transform your business and user experiences. Okay, so before you build generative apps with Copilot Studio, you should have a basic understanding of AI concepts. While extensive knowledge isn't required, a foundational understanding of generative AI and LLMs or large language models will be helpful. This will allow you to grasp the capabilities and limitations of Copilot Studio. And also, you should have familiarity with conversational interface. If you ever use a chatbot, you already have a basic understanding of how conversational interfaces work. This knowledge will be beneficial when designing the conversational flow of your Copilot. So that's more on technical. While for non-technical, you should have problem solving and creativity. These skills are crucial for defining the purpose and functionalities of your generative AI application. You also need to identify the problem you're trying to solve or the need you're addressing. That's really important. And then creatively design the application to meet that need. Another thing is the content creation skills. If your application involves generating text formats like poems, scripts, or marketing copy, having strong content creation or writing skills will be beneficial. So yeah, that's more on conversational. And you also need access to Copilot Studio. So you'll need a Microsoft account and potentially a specific Copilot Studio license depending on your desired functionalities. So for licensing, you should have Microsoft 365 subscription with Copilot Studio. This license include Copilot Studio functionalities. This is part of Power Platform offering. These plans exclude specific environments like US governments and other SKUs. You'll also need to verify your specific Microsoft 365 subscription to see if Copilot is already included. And also, your tenant should have standalone Copilot Studio subscription. If your Microsoft 365 plan doesn't include Copilot Studio, you can purchase a standalone subscription specifically for Copilot Studio. This offers greater flexibility but comes with an additional cost. So it should have, but for licensing with Copilot Studio, you need the Copilot Studio subscription, the standalone, and the premium Copilot Studio include for your Microsoft 365 subscription account. for board licensing, we can provide the references about the licensings of Copilot Studio later. Then, yep. So for our introduction, do you have anything, any questions regarding the generative AI and Copilot Studio before we start the demo?
I think we can start, Sir Alfred,
Okay.
for the demo.
So,
So,
yeah.
so
We'll start. Thank you, Mac. I will now give the presentation for the demo to Mac.
okay, thank you, Sir Alfred, for that. So, guys, if you have a question, you can use the Q&A tab. So you can start a discussion on that. So before I start the demonstration, I just want to quickly introduce myself again. So I'm Mac Tarilin Riel. I'm a Power Platform developer or a specialist. So if some of you doesn't know what is Power Platform is a low-code platform that Microsoft created. And yeah, the goal of that platform is to let the uh, citizen developer to be able to create a app. So Copilot Studio lies on that platform as well. So it is also a low code. So for that, you need at least a minimal knowledge on the Power Platform to in order to successfully create a Copilot. So for the demo, let's start on how to set up a Copilot Studio environment. For that, so assuming that you already have the required licensing, so you need to go to copilotstudio.microsoft.com. So once you go there, you will be redirected here. So on the home, you can see the list of the recent copilots. So for me, I already created 2. So that's what you see on that. And you can create a copilot by clicking here or by clicking on the copilots on the left navigation and then click new copilot. But before we create a copilot, it is standard to create a solution first on the Power Platform before creating. The reason for that is we are not going to develop a copilot directly on a prod environment. So if we are a developer, we're going to develop it on a developer environment, and then we are going to deploy it on the succeeding environment like QA, UAT, and then lastly the prod. So for easy deployment, so again, click the Power Platform, click the Power Apps, and then it will be redirected here. So just make sure that you are on the same environment. And then after that, click on the solution, click on the new solution, and then let's say demo pilot. Then so just fill up the required fields on this one, and then click create. So if you don't have a publisher yet, so you can use either of the default CDS or the default publisher. But it's better if you create a new. So yeah, then after you create, you can select it again and then click create. So once created, you will now have a solution for the Copilot, which is the Copilot demo. So let's go back to the Copilot Studio page, and then let's click on the new Copilot. Then type the Copilot name. Let's say demo bot. And then let's enter the website. So for this demo, I'll use this website. So and then after that, remember to click the advanced options. And then, okay, it did not reflect yet. So I might need to refresh the page. So again, displaying the name of the Copilot, the website, and then let's go to the solution. So now the solution that we created previously is shown here. And then after that, so as you can see, this is the publisher of the solution. So if you're going to use the default publisher, it will show the prefix of that publisher. So for example, let's just show what's for this one. For example, you click the CBS default publisher. So the prefix of all of the components inside that solution will be the CR125PC. Let's go back to the Copilot Studio. Let's click create. So once you click the create, it will provision the Copilot. And then as you can see, you still need to wait a few minutes before it is finished. So if you're going to check the Copilot demo, so refresh this. So as you can see, all of the component relating to this Copilot is inside of the solution. So it will be much easier for you to deploy it on the other environments. As you can see, these are the demo about the Copilot we just created. So the provision is finished. So yeah, so now you can start developing your Copilot. So first, let's go to the generative AI. No, let's go to the topics first, and then system. So this conversational boosting, this is the topic that responsible for the Gen AI or the generative AI. So if the user input something that is not covered of the existing topic, it will automatically go to the conversational boosting. And then after that, the next action is create generative answers. So from the user input, it will search for that whatever the user inputs on this website. You can also add different data source for the Gen AI. As you can see, there is a different type of data source here. For the custom data, you probably need to, sometimes there's a scenario where you need to get the data from here and then put it on a variable and then put it here. So right now I don't have a variable, so it doesn't show anything. But after you do that, it will be able. So it will show on that tab. Okay, so yeah, and then after this action runs, so it will check if the generative AI found an answer So it will response on the user and then end the current topic. Please. And then if it's blank, so it will actually go to another topic, which is, I believe, the fallback. So yeah, this is a pre-built. So if it doesn't get anything, so the Copilot will will respond with this. And then, so on the topics, you can also create your own topic. So let's try it. And then click the edit. Here you can put some phrases. So let's say, for now, let's say, what is your name? Let's click the add. And then, as you can see, one of the phrases that will trigger this topic is that phrase. It's just name. Turn the tab. Okay. And then on Copilot, there are different kinds of action. So first, there's a send message. So let's say, let's put map. And then let's click save. So if you're going to ask the Copilot on what is your name, it should trigger this topic, and then the next action is to send a message, and it will send the message of whatever you put here. You can put like some custom from the variable, system variable, and environment variable here. And also you can put for formula. So there's a custom formula of Copilot Studio that you can use. And then let's go to the different. So you can also ask a question. And yeah, you can choose here on what kind of multiple choices you want. But for the first demo, let's just delete this first. Let's ask how old are you? And then let's send a message here. Maybe 20 and 21. We can like send a message here, I believe. And then let's put the word choice and the message. So let's save it. And then let's trigger the topic again. What is your name? So the question will ask the user a question, and then will provide a multiple answer if you choose this. But you can choose, as I said, you can choose a different pre-built answers. So let's say 20. Yeah, the answer, the user that will pick on the choice will be saved on the var1. This variable was automatically created when I created the action. So, and then I put that on the message. So that's why it replied 20. So let's proceed again. Let's delete this first. Okay. Let's just delete this. Okay. So you can also ask with adaptive card. So this adaptive card, you need to put a adaptive card JSON in here, and you can select a topic, and then there are other options as well to customize this action. But for this, I won't be creating right now, but just for a quick idea, there's a adaptive card builder. Sorry, to adaptive card designer that might be helpful when using this action. So this here you can like bot framework. Another proposal will be using bot framework. And yeah, you can build a adaptive card here and then use it on your Copilot. So going back, there's also a condition. Yeah, it is same with the other condition of the other programming languages. If you know, or even in the Power Automate, if you know the Power Automate, so it will just check the condition if it is true, and if false, it will fall to this uh, action. There's also a variable management where you can set a variable, parse the value, or clear the value of all the variables. You can also go to another topic. So for example, you created topic 1001 and then you created topic 1002. You can select it here. And then basically it will jump from here topic, from this topic to that another topic. And then there are also a different options here. So it's a self-explanatory. So I don't have another step. It's and then this go to step. You can like click here and it will go back to that step. So it will basically create a loop, and then yeah, and then end the conversation. You can also call a action on this one. So this one, it's a custom, but I will explain the action later. But you can also use that on the when you are creating a topic. And then on advanced, there are multiple options here. So you can also create a generative answers based on the, for example, here, this message. So let's open the classic data. So if you created an action of generative answers, so initially it doesn't have any data source. You need to add a website here. And then you can also use the custom data. And then other options would be you can also send HTTP request here. So basically it will do on whatever method you will do. So you can do get, post, pass, or put, or delete. You can also edit the headers to match what is the required headers of the endpoint page. So that are some of the action that you can use while creating the topic. So moving forward, let's go to the generative AI again. Moving forward, right now, the generative AI is limited to these data sources. So first, the public website. So if the website is public, you can use it here as long as the Copilot has an access to that website. You can put it here. And also SharePoint sources. So if you have SharePoint, you can also add it here. But I believe it required a some authentication. And then also you can upload a document for this one. For example, let's upload overtime policy. Okay, so for that, when you upload that, it will take a few minutes before it will be done on indexing the file. Okay, so yeah, out of the box, Copilot Studio is limited to that data sources. But there is if you want to connect, for example, on a private website, there is a workaround for that. I won't go through that right now, but there's a lot of workaround to do if your desired data sources is not available out of the box. So as you can see, this is already added when I created the Copilot. So let's try to ask. By the way, if you add a website, it also takes a few minutes before it will reflect and will be able for the Copilot to able to is or now navigate that website and then provide an answer. So but let's try it. It will be able now. Is okay, so right now the Copilot is still understanding the website. So let's try to refresh. Sometimes a simple refresh will do the work. So let's try to refresh and then ask again. Let's use the similar prompt. What is F1 global? Okay, so the Copilot is still understanding. As I mentioned, it will probably take a few minutes to for the Copilot to be able to understand that website. But I do have created here. So I put the Tech1 Global About Us as the data source. So by the way, the website is also limited to two sub-site. So for example, let's copy this. Then let's add another sub-site, and then let's add another one. So as you can see, the website can be more 2 levels deep. So you can only add website up to this. But we won't be adding that. So let's try to I will refresh this first. And let's try to ask this. This. Um, okay, okay. So this one is the let's close this. I did something on that Copilot that way it's misbehaving, but this is the right Copilot. So for this, I put two data sources, which is the the menu, and then with the one that have subsite to have better or are accurate answers from that Copilot. Yes. Take one. Yung- Okay, let's refresh this. Hmm. Let's try to uh, ask the question again. Okay, so for this one, it is able to provide an answer. So based on the website itself, and also the Copilot will provide the reference. As you can see, if you click here, it will go to the whatever topic that was triggered. So it was an unknown intent. So it goes to the create generated answers, check on the public websites, and then because it has a answer, the generator able to find an answer. So it replied and then ended the conversation. Let's try another one. What is the process? And as you can see, it's also able to get an answer. So as long as it is, let's go back to here. So as long as it is the data is available in these sites, so the AI will be able to generate an answer. So another thing to remember that there's a Copilot content moderation. So this is also a self-explanatory. So high by default it is high. So Copilot generates fewer answers but responses are more relevant. So um, basically the Copilot will probably answer similar on a similar question. So for example, if I ask tell me about Global, which is similar to this question, so it will just give the same answer. But if you click, for example, the medium, so Copilot generates more answers, but the response may be less relevant. So for example, we select that and then we ask with a different phrase. So it it is not guaranteed that the Copilot will answer a different, but it might answer a different which is less relevant. And then last one, the low. So it will generate most of the answer, but the responses can have in few rounds. So basically, we don't actually recommend this. So it's either medium or high. So to have a better outputs. So as you can see here, or let's go to the error handling of the Copilot. So as you can see here, as the data sources is not reflected on the Copilot yet. So it goes when I ask this question, it goes here, then it did not get anything. So it automatically triggered the fallback because it is an error. So you can add an action here if you want to. You can change here, change the output if there's an error on the topic. also. And then, as you can see, if you, for example, the user asks 3 times and then the Copilot did not able to understand it, and then the user asks again. So for the fourth time, let's go back to the fallback. So for the fourth time or for the third time, it will go here. So it will escalate. Uh, this is a built-in topic. So it will escalate to the agent ideally, but right now the Copilot is not set up for that. It's not really configured for this bot. So but it is possible to do that. In the channels by some tweaking, some configuration, you will be able to escalate it to like an agent. Okay, so moving forward, so as you remember, I think where did I upload? As you can see, I uploaded here. So let's try to refresh and see if the Copilot will be able to ask or to find an answer from that document. So this is the document. So it is a overtime policy which contains this data and other data. So for this demo, I'll ask the procedure. Let's start. What is the procedure for overtime? Okay, let's try. Let's try to refresh this first. And then let's try to ask them what is the return on procedure for overtime. So as you can see, it did not able to find for this one. So it probably still the Copilot still understanding the PDF that I uploaded. But let me just let's close this. Let's go to generative AI. Let's try once more. What is procedure for overtime? Okay, so let's just get back to it later on the demo. Okay, so as I mentioned, you can also add SharePoint sources in this one. But if you use that, so as we know, SharePoint site sometimes is a private site. So for that, you need to make your Copilot authenticated. So in the authentication, authenticate with Microsoft Entra ID. Or you can use this or this one. So, but yeah, I will not be showing the SharePoint data sources for this demo, but it is possible to use SharePoint sites as the data sources of your Copilot. So going back here, topics, as I mentioned, there are pre-built topics here. When you created your Copilot, the system will already create this. You can delete this if you don't want that, or you can turn it off. There's also a system which is not deletable, but you can also turn it on off. So as you can see, you can create your own topic. Is what I showed earlier. So there is another one which is similar to the topics. That one is on the Extend Microsoft Copilot. There's a conversational plugin. So for this, let's try to create a conversational plugin. You need to add a topic here. As you can see, the trigger is different. So describe what the topic does. Enter the description with keywords for your plugin to be called. So, for example, it is a natural language that you need to put a natural language here, and Copilot will try to understand it. So, if we put then a user enter when a user asks for a need. So it will instead of putting up a phrases, so you'll describe what the trigger is. So for this one, if the user asks what is your name, something like that, or what anything related to the name. So to have a better output, you need to be more accurate or more specific on this one. So when a user asks for a name, so whatever name the user will ask, this conversational plugin will be triggered. But that is what conversational plugin is. So in Copilot Studio, you can also create your own actions. So actions for this one, so there is a out of the box connector that you can use, or you can add yourself using the power of Automate. So if you click that, it will get redirected to the Power Automate edit. And then once you save this, it will show automatically here. So previously I created this one, scale 001 calling prompt. So as you can see, it's showing here. And then let's try to create an action, weather action. So get current weather. Into next, just click next, and then okay, let's click finish. Once you do that, so it's added on the action list. You can use that action inside the topic. So let's just edit this. And then let's change the phrase from what is your name to what is the weather. Weather. Okay, it's that, and then let's click this. I forgot to save it earlier. That's why this action are still here. So let's delete this. Then let's call the action. Call an action. So plug in. Get the current weather. So that's what I created earlier. So this action has a two inputs. So you can use unit. You should put both location and unit. So let's put location first. So for this, let's use the activity text. So this activity text, it means it will parse the user's input. So for example, what's the weather, then the user put a place, which will use the place on here. And then let's add units. Let's put metric here. And then let's see. So okay, so the MSN weather has some limitation. So sometimes it will probably will not return something. So um it it needs a proper prompting in order to return a result. But let's try to make this work. Let's try to trigger the price. What is the weather on Philippines today? As you can see for this one, it was able to find the weather on the Cavite, Philippines. So action is just like that. So you can create your own. For example, you want to delete something on the Excel online, you can do that and update, send an email. There's a lot of things that you can do on the action. So this is one of the example. You can use the weather connector. So for there's another one here, AI plugins. So for this one, you can add from here or you can add from the Power Platform. I mean you can add from outside of your Copilot on the home. So you can one of the example of the AI models is the AI Builder prompts. So AI Builder is an extension of Power Platform. So if you click on the prompt, and then you can create text with GPT using prompt. Okay, so or you can create extract information from text as well. So there's a prompt. You can put you can put some inputs here that we can use inside the Copilot. So um, earlier I created a prompt or yeah an AI plugin. Once you create that on the prompt, it will automatically show here. And then this AI plugin cannot be used directly on the topic. So if you can see, let's try to use that. So even in advance, you cannot call a AI plugin. So it's none. So to use the AI plugin, you need to create a action again. So the AI plugin that I created last time is prompt, or let's just find it, this one. So you can use that. You can click that and then create a action. That is one thing. You can use it directly, or you can also use it on a flow if you want to add a different actions that the AI plugin is not yet doing. and you want to compile it to one action on the Copilot, you can instead create a Power Automate, and then add action, search for AI Builder, and then select the create text with GPT using prompt, and then your prompt will be seen there. So you see there's a two inputs, because if you're going to the prompts to that AI plugin again, there are two required inputs on that prompts. So the entity to be extract and the input text. So on that, so that is required. So we need to put something on that. So ideally, we put here input text, and then text again, and entity to be okay. So and then we can use that. Yeah. Text entity to be extracted. And then add an output. So this action will return what the Copilot receive after the flow run. Let's put this output, and then there are two. So I usually use text for the outputs. Yeah, and then it's just like that for the AI plugin on how to use it. You can use it directly. Again, you can use it directly on that action via finding it, but there are some limitation here, because as you can see, this logo is a Dataverse. So once you select it, it requires a authentication, because your Copilot will directly connect to the Dataverse. But if you use, for example, a Automate, there's no need for a authentication, because the Copilot will just trigger the Power Automate, and the Power Automate will be the one for connecting to the AI Builder. So now one great example of the use of this is for example, you can, though this action will require premium, as you can see, but for example, get for example, you are getting a data from from one API, private data sources, and there's a API for that. So example, so anyway, so that is one of the great example for this, because the Copilot is limited to public website only. With the help of this, we can get, or we can, it's one of the workaround. So put the endpoint of the API here, and then put it here on the input text. So because if you go to the, because if you remember, the input text is basically the data source of the prompt, and the entity to be extracted is what part of that input text will be extracted. So yeah, that's one use of these AI plugins. So when you experience like some limitation in the Copilot Studio, AI plugins is your friends, or the Power Automate itself, because the Copilot can trigger it. So another thing for the Copilot, there's the setting part. So you can update the Copilot. You can even change the icon if you want to. And then the AI integration tool. So this is advanced. So you can use, like for this one, a pro code. You can add your own model to the Copilot. And then you can also use AI models from Azure OpenAI. And then the channels, this is where you deploy. So you can deploy it on Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Copilot. So for the custom website, it's because of the security. It's just no authentication. See. So if you go back to the channels, so you can deploy it anywhere because it doesn't need it. It doesn't need any authentication. So you can connect it to Messenger, Skype, Slack, Telegram. But of course, there's some prerequisites. For example, you're going to connect it to Facebook. You also need a Facebook developer account to handle the endpoint of the Copilot. So I won't go to this one by one. It is another advanced part of the Copilot. So same with other. So you need a developer account for them for each third parties. So this is the customer engagement. You can connect it to this. And also the security. So you can share your Copilot, for example. Let's search. Uh, I can put this as a Copilot transcript viewer only, or yeah. But this is just internal. And then the authentication, as just what I said. So this is to allow the Copilot to be embedded in the public websites and other third-party apps. So this will limit you to Teams and Power Apps only. And then this is a little advanced. So you need some app registration on Microsoft Intra ID on the Azure portal. Ah, So there's also a web channel security. Don't copy that. Or you can regenerate a new, but I won't do that. And then let's go to the languages. So you can add a language that the Copilot will understand. So right now, the languages is only this. So it's limited to this. So for example, if you have a certain language or dialect that is not here, you can actually add that. But um, there's a process on that, but that's a completely different discussion. So you will need a couple of hours to do that. Probably, I don't know, 4 or 2 hours to be able to add. But it's a one-time setup. If you able to add one language, initially you can add different language at ease some in the future. And then so let's just go to the entity. So in entities, when you ask, it is pre-built. So when you ask a question in a topic, this is where you can pull the answers in each Boolean city or continue. You can add new close list or regular expression, regex. And there is also a like analytics on the Copilot. It's just for admins, where you can see a report about your Copilot. So for now, it probably doesn't have anything. So it's still loading. Yeah, it doesn't have anything because I just created this Copilot. So yeah, I believe that's pretty much is it. So there's also a dynamic chaining with generative action, so you can turn that on. So create conversation by letting AI find the connect appropriate plugins in real time. So for that, as you remember on the conversational plugins, if you add a topic here, you will just describe the trigger. So the 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 dynamic chaining will use that description. The AI will try to analyze on what what plugins should be the next action and so on and so forth. And also on the lower part, so you can also provide a like a specific description for your copilot. So for example, uh, like a customer representing of the robot. So if you put it something like that, so and then save, so your copilot, this this will be the persona of your copilot. So it will act the customer representative of Tech One Global. Mhm. So yeah, I believe that's all. Uh, the next part will be the use cases in the real world example, and that will be discussed by Sir Alfred.
Yes, thank you, Max. So I'll now take over the share screen.
Mhm.
Yep. So we will give you some key features and use cases for Copilot. So yeah, Copilot can be used for sales and support. Copilots can assist with sales inquiries and support issues. And also Copilot can use all in business information. They can provide details about opening hours, store information, and employee health and vacation benefits. It can also use in public health tracking. Copilots can offer information related to public health and employees' questions. For businesses, copilots can address common employee queries. For example, we can put our copilot's persona as for HR representative in the company. So employees can ask questions such as policies for leave, policies for some what they call this turnover or uh, and other company policies provided by the HR. We can also use for that. There are so many use cases we haven't put this, but it depends on your needs and requirements. So yeah. Before we end our session, we would like to ask for the Q&A if there are any still questions. We can you can type in the Q&A chat. Okay. Yes. Uh, if you have any question, you can use the Q&A. We can answer your questions. Yeah, if there are any questions, we can end our sessions. We would like to thanks to join who attend the workshop for generative AI apps with Copilot Studio. Thank you so much, and we can end the session. Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you, Mac. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys. Bye.